3, 2, 1, Vampires in Venice is the episode we are talking about today. Now, I went to write down all of the problems I had with this episode and all of the things I loved in this episode. I wrote down a lot of things I loved, and I didn't write down anything I didn't like in this episode. So, with that being said, I have to give this 4.5 stars. I don't think this is the best episode. It doesn't compare to the episodes I love the most of Doctor Who. With that being said, like I said, there's nothing I had to write down that I didn't care for in this episode. So with that being said, we're gonna jump right on into the things that I love in this episode. But before I do that, I want to say, if you're a fan of Doctor Who, I also make animations on this YouTube channel. Finally. And my Jefferson Strange series is something of a love letter to Doctor Who, which is appropriate because I'm filming this on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, you all. So, right off the bat, the first thing I always love just seeing the Doctor working on the TARDIS. It's very Han Solo.
Alright, that's it. Right.
And I like that. But anyway, the Doctor, he sort of sees that he's getting in the way of Amy and Rory's relationship. So he decides to take them on this outing, and I like that. I think that's very admirable about this Doctor, is he sees that he's sort of getting in the way of the soon-to-be married couple, and he's like, nah, I'm not about that. I'm not that guy. Unlike David Tennant, who totally stole Rose from Mickey. So there we go, Matt Smith's a better Doctor than David Tennant. Yeah, if you watch my tiering of the Doctors video, you'll know that's not actually what I think. Matt Smith, I'm just gonna put you there. But I do like this particular characterization of how he's dealing with sort of the romantical conflict here. I like it. I think it's a good thing for this Doctor. Okay. We have a scene of the Doctor just sort of Batman disappearing.
What was that about?
I like it when the Doctor does that. I think it's fun. I like the idea of the Doctor just like sort of going off and doing his own thing sometimes. And maybe like sometimes the people don't necessarily like that about him, but I do. It's sort of fun. I always like sort of separating the companions from the Doctor episodes where they do that. I sort of like that, like the Doctor's sort of carefree thing is like, oh yeah, you keep doing whatever you're doing. I'm just gonna go over and like say some things to this evil person, or you know, sit on their throne and flirt with them or whatever. So yeah, I liked the Doctor just running away in the beginning of this episode. And then we have, I think, one of the most brilliant scenes in all of Doctor Who. Man, I am in a good mood. It's not every day when I say one of the most brilliant scenes in all of Doctor Who. But anyway, is when the Doctor's surrounded by all of the vampire women. He's like, oh, I can't see your reflections. He gets excited about the fact that he's facing vampires, and I'm right there with him because I'm a fan of vampires. In fact, if you look back right now, the earliest videos available on this channel are me talking about vampires, so way to go for vampires. I like vampires. Anyway, he tries to pull out his psychic paper, and it ends up being his library card. absolutely brilliant is his library card. And what's more brilliant is whose face is on the library card? William Hartnell. That's so great. Because when he got his library card, he must have been William Hartnell. I love it. I think it's so brilliant. So, because of course William Hartnell is very brilliant. I really like his portrayal of the Doctor. Anyway, so that was really fun. Yeah, and then he gets excited about the vampires. Like I said, same. You know, I wanna fight some vampires in Venice. Yeah. Again, I talk about this Doctor being excited about scary things. Right here, this fits right into that sort of theme that I found with this Doctor, and I love it. Okay, so then the line, we hope they're vampires. I like it. I like the sort of, like, oh, there's something even scarier than vampires. Where vampires, they're scary, but what's this? Something scarier than that! I think that's a fun line, is the Doctor saying we hope that they're vampires. Again, the Doctor's attitude towards, like, the Rory-Amy relationship, telling Rory, it should have been you that Amy kissed.
And the relief of it, and so she kissed me.
And you kissed her back?
No, I kissed her mouth.
Funny.
Rory, she kissed me because I was there. It would have been you. It should have been you.
Yeah, it should have been me.
Exactly. That's why I brought you here.
Good line. Good attitude this Doctor has. And then on, like, the opposite track, Rory tells the Doctor, you know what's dangerous about you.
You know what's dangerous about you? It's not that you make people take risks, it's that you make them want to impress you. You make it so they don't want to let you down. You have no idea how dangerous you make people to themselves when you're around.
And I think this is one of the greatest themes in Doctor Who, is the idea of like the Doctor sort of turns people into a version of him, or, you know, for better or for worse. He sort of, he changes people into being sort of like him. But yeah, that's a good theme I love in the show, is the effect the Doctor has on people's lives. I think is very, very fun. And of course, like, I believe it's Devros that has a line where he's like, oh, Doctor, you don't like weapons, but you use people as weapons. You turn people into weapons.
The man who abhors violence, never carrying a gun. But this is the truth, Doctor. You take ordinary people and you fashion them into weapons. Behold your children of time transformed into murderers. I made the Daleks, Doctor. You made this.
So anyway, it's a cool sort of theming that sort of fits with that. I like it a lot. I really like it. Okay, the line of the people upstairs are noisy. There is no upstairs. That's fun. It's fun. I like it. Yeah, just give that a little shout out because I love it. The Rory getting the vampire fish dude's attention, but with a your mom joke.
The only thing I've seen uglier than you is your mom.
I love it. You know me, I love a good your mom joke. And then on that sort of line of thought, you have just the idea that, like, Amy sort of encourages Rory to be a better, braver person, which I really like. I think sort of the story of, like, love being what draws you. to improve is, I think that's very romantic and very sweet. Again, it's Valentine's Day when I'm recording this, so romance is romance. Yep, something like that. So then, the last thing is just like what the vampire lady, main villain, what she says to the doctor, where she's like, "Oh, the blood of my people is on your hands, Mr. Doctor." And like the parallel to the Time Lords, and like the fact that the Doctor killed the Time Lords, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and then like, of course, the reference to the Silence, very good. Now, the Silence storyline doesn't end up actually being very good because Stephen Moffat just isn't that good at these long, overarching stories. I'm sorry, Stephen, you do some things good, you do some things bad. But yeah, I love the sort of like getting into the silence and hinting at it and stuff like that. Though it always makes me think of that movie with Andrew Garfield, which I love. Anyway, that's a complete different story. Maybe I should review that movie. That'd be a little off-brand. Like, everything I review is so fun, and then I'm like, yeah, this movie about a guy being tortured. Anyway, Silence is a good movie. Check it out. But we aren't talking about a good movie. We're talking about this movie, this TV show. But yeah, so those are all the things I like about this. And like I said, I have nothing bad to say about this episode. So I think from that, I can conclude that it's a pretty good episode. With that being said, what did you think of the episode? I think my moral from this episode, I kind of have to draw from Rory, and that in the end where he decides to travel with the Doctor and Amy. And I think that's like, just don't let jealousy prevent you from doing things that could be beneficial for you. So Rory could have chosen, because he's jealous of the Doctor and Amy's relationship and bitter, he could just be like, oh yeah, just leave me home, wedding's off, everything's off. But Rory decided not to let those negative emotions get in his way of this absolutely brilliant adventure that ends with so writing. And I think we can all learn from Rory. And also, like, a secondary moral is just be brave, Rory's not the strongest guy, and he's not anything like that. He's not even the most without fear, but yet he still chooses to try and save Amy from this vampire that could very well kill him. And that's very brave of you, Rory. I'm proud of you. So, check out my Jefferson Strange animations if you like Doctor Who. It's a love letter to Doctor Who, Star Wars, a couple other things. I sort of just wanted to pay homage and have fun with it, so if that sounds fun, that's what that is. My other Doctor Who reviews, of course, check out those. They're all great. I love them all. And speaking of love, happy Valentine's Day, and goodbye.